A man walked into our office. When we greeted him, he pulled out a gun, aimed directly at me, and began shooting.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a 21-year-old Black Lives Matter activist by the name of Quintez Brown, who tried to shoot and kill Louisville, Kentucky mayoral candidate Craig Greenberg. Now, this is still kind of breaking news right now as of the time I'm recording this, so I don't really know what the motive was. I don't know why he would do something like this, but we're talking about Black Lives Matter here, so I'm not necessarily surprised at this. Now, am I saying that every member of Black Lives Matter or BLM affiliate type groups would do a thing like this? No, I'm not. Not at all, because I've met some of the guys in BLM type groups, and they're just regular type people, really. They might just be kind of woke, but they're not going to go out there and shoot and kill anybody or try to like this guy did. However, there are some elements of that group that will go out there and do this. And then if you go on a social media page, he had kind of like black identity extremist type stuff on there. So, I mean, I'm not really surprised, unfortunately. And before I go any further, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you're going to see news from Louisville about the whole situation. You're going to see Quintez Brown. You're going to see Craig Greenberg. After we get done watching that, I'll come back. Then I'll give you the rest of my 2 cents and my deep detail analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Man accused of a shooting at a mayoral candidate in his campaign office just Monday has pleaded not guilty. Right now, Quintez Brown is behind bars on $100,000 cash bond, charged with attempted murder and 4 counts of wanton endangerment. Police say the community activist targeted Craig Greenberg inside the Butchertown Market building by walking into his office and firing 5 shots in his direction before he took off running. Brown appeared in court this morning through video conference and was given a no-contact order with Greenberg, any of his employees, and those working at the campaign office, as well as that location. He's also not allowed to carry a firearm. Brown's lawyer told the judge his prior criminal history is lacking any real danger to the community. And a police report did say Brown was caught less than a half mile from Butchertown's Market with a loaded 9mm magazine in his pants pocket. The bag he was carrying had a 9mm Glock handgun and additional magazines. The report says surveillance cameras in that building helped police identify him immediately. Brown will be back in court on February 23rd.
A man walked into our office. When we greeted him, he pulled out a gun, aimed directly at me, and began shooting.
Craig Greenberg there and his team obviously shaken by what happened yesterday. He says as soon as Brown approached his office with a gun, one of his team members slammed that door shut and barricaded them inside with tables and desks. A single bullet came close enough it actually grazed Greenberg's clothing, but he was unharmed.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, I'm not sure where to begin. I guess the first things first, elephant in the room for me is that he actually has bond. Now, I'm not sure if he actually was able to post bond, but there is bond out there. I think it was raised from $75,000 to $100,000. And I'm not sure the way it is in Kentucky, must you pay the full amount, the $100,000, or is it 10%, which would be $10,000? I don't really know, but there is a bond. Now, I'm thinking just a random wild thought here. I'm thinking if you try to shoot and kill somebody, point blank range with the pistol, shoot them, or try to shoot him 4 or 5 times, that might be something that you shouldn't get bond over. I mean, maybe. You're talking about what? Attempted murder and 4 counts of wanton endangerment. Maybe you should get remanded for something like that. But I digress. The whole point is that there is a bond amount, but I'm not sure if he's out yet. I think he's still in jail as of right now when I'm making the video, but that could change in the near future. Now, this guy, Quintez Brown, was somebody or is somebody. He's not dead. They caught him alive. Oh, and funny how that works, right? Funny how you able to, shoot at somebody in their office and you get away and you get captured by the police without getting shot, without getting hurt at all. Funny how that works. He probably cooperated because he probably didn't want to go down in the blaze of glory. You understand? But anyway, so they're able to catch him unharmed and they arrested him. But this guy is somebody, I suppose. He's known out there in Louisville for being a BLM, social justice activist type person. and he's also kind of traveled a little bit. I think he's gone to the West Coast, or as I call it, the left coast, California. He's done a few things. I think he was involved with Barack Obama's My Brother's Keeper, that whole campaign. He was slated to meet Obama. I'm not sure why he didn't, but he's done a few things. He has written some op-ed pieces, and one of the op-eds, I think from 2018, was something like, these Republicans and their gun-loving politics are going to get people killed. They don't care about you because they love their guns more. So he was is an activist that's against guns. Okay, somebody who is not in favor of guns, an anti-gun activist. But here he is with a Glock 9mm in his pocket with several loaded magazines, ready to get rocking and rolling, trying to shoot and kill the mayoral candidate, Craig Greenberg. So what's going on with that? You want to talk about how you're for gun control, but you out here shooting and trying to kill people. What's happening with that? I don't really know. The guy might be a little bit crazy. Speaking about Quintez Brown, he went missing a few months ago, and I'm not really sure if they found him. Like, obviously they found him now because he's in jail, but I'm not sure if he had been missing since that point and they just found him when he tried to do this. I don't know what happened, but he had went missing. There was a search party. It was on the news out there locally in Louisville. So I don't know what's going on with the guy, but obviously the elevator's not going all the way to the top floor. You understand? Like, how you going to be a BLM activist? How you going to be an advocate for gun control, but then go out here and try to shoot people? And that's something else. Why did he shoot Craig Greenberg? I mean, the guy is a candidate to try and become the mayor. Now, I'm not sure if he's a Democrat, Republican, or whatever, but if he is a conservative guy, that might be part of it. Maybe he doesn't like conservative people. So rather than just trying to get everybody to vote how he thinks they should vote, he's going to go out there and just try to kill himself. I don't really know. And thankfully, he's not a good shot. Thankfully, he's not a gun guy because he shot at him 5 times, I suppose, point blank range, went to his office, pulled a gun out and started shooting, and only grazed his clothing. It didn't hit him at all. I think the police said that he was struck, meaning Craig Greenberg, but all that happened was he just got his sweater or whatever got grazed by a bullet, but he didn't actually get hit himself. Thank God for that. I mean, if you got a gun right here pointed right at you and the guy shoots it 4 or 5 times and you don't get hit, let alone die, I mean, God was on your side that day. Okay, that day was not your day to go. You still got a lot more to do on this earth. I'll put it to you that way, but I'll move on. Now, to continue talking about Craig Greenberg, could it be the whole Jewish thing? Because a lot of these BIE, the black identity extremist guys, sometimes when they go down the rabbit hole, they come across this whole anti-Jew rhetoric. And again, this is not all people that are, Black Lives Matter and pro-black, blackity, black, not all. Most of those guys are normies. They're not going to hurt a fly, okay? A lot of them are kind of soft, quite frankly, but different story. Anyway, the point is that most of the guys that are in that kind of world are not going to go hurt people, but some of them do. This guy, I don't know if he tried to kill Craig Greenberg because he's Jewish, but that's part of it. I mean, you see his name, you see his face, you already know what it is. He's not the kind of guy that you got to be like, oh, is he Jewish? I don't really know. Obviously he is, okay? So that could be part of it, and that could enhance his charges. There could be a hate crime there. It could be a political thing, could be a religious, ethnic thing, racial, whatever you want to call it. It could be a lot of different reasons why he did this, but what I will say is that these BLM people, they have a lot of people like this that are dangerous, very dangerous. We saw what happened in Dallas, Texas a few years back. What was that, 2016, 2017, when Micah Xavier Johnson shot and killed, 4 or 5 officers in Dallas, Texas? And this guy had some of the same type stuff on the social media, some of the same black identity extremist stuff. Now, this guy, Micah Xavier Johnson, was a loner. That was his whole thing. Now, I don't know about Quintez Brown. Was he a loner? I think he was pretty social, but I'm not sure what he had been doing lately. Either way it goes, this is not surprising, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And hopefully we can get a little bit tougher on crime. Maybe that can help reduce some of this nonsense, because I mean, what makes you feeling so emboldened to go out there and try to shoot somebody like it ain't nothing going on? Maybe because in Louisville, that's where the whole Breonna Taylor thing happened. And that's why he was out there protesting for Breonna Taylor, I suppose. And he saw all the windfall of support talking about, oh, they shouldn't have shot her. Yeah, her boyfriend shot at them first. Yeah, she was running drugs. Yeah, she was doing things she shouldn't have been doing. Yeah. All this excuse making. So maybe he thought, well, I can just get my gun and shoot at somebody or try to kill them. And if they die, maybe I go to jail. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm able to beat it. Maybe I'm able to use my clout as a BLM adjacent person to get out of it. I don't know what the guy was thinking, but I feel like when you have an environment where there is so much excuse making going on, where there is so much, how can I say, where there's so much, slaps on the wrist type behavior going on, when that is prevalent, it might make someone think that they are invincible. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what happened here with Quintez Brown and Craig Melvin? Like, what's your thoughts on why he would do something like this? Again, this is still pretty early. The motive could come out a little bit later, but as of right now, I don't know. I'm just going off of what I think is happening. What I do know happened is that he got caught with the guns, or what, at least one gun on him with loaded magazines on him. Witnesses, the victim saw him, identified him, so we can say that it was him. Now, the guilt or innocence, that's a different story, but we could say that he is the one that was identified doing this. Why do you think he did it? What could have been the motivation? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.